Hi, and welcome to the Water Use Allocation section. In this video, we're going to discuss how to report the water you withdrew from your source. There's a lot to discuss on this form, so we're going to break it into two segments. All water use permit holders are required to record their total water withdrawals for each month. The department mails out report forms each year, either at the end of the irrigation season or at the end of the calendar year. At the end of the calendar year or at the end of your irrigation season, when you are done pumping, you will complete your report along with any other information we require on the form and send that back to the department through email or regular snail mail. You will report by source. We define sources by the following categories. Aquifer or groundwater source. You may have one or several wells in each of those aquifers. A stream or river source. A reservoir, lake, or pond source, or a quarry or pit. You might have a permit to withdraw water from one source or any combination of these sources. To determine what sources you have, you need to read your water use permit in detail. If you have multiple sources, you will receive one sheet of paper for each source listed in your permit. For example, if you withdraw water from two aquifers, a stream, and a lake, you would receive 4 pages to report on. The first page, front page of your Water Use Annual Report form lists some important information regarding your permit and your well water levels if you are a groundwater source. In the upper right-hand side is your water use permit number, in this case, number 5555. That permit number relates to your entity and your system as its own permit. On the left-hand side is your address, in this example, town. In the lower right-hand side is the year for your water use report. In this case, it is 2016. And below that year is your source listed on the sheet of paper. In this case, it's an aquifer source. Both Silurian and Upper Ordovician source are listed together in this report. After the header information listed at the top of the page is a little segment dedicated to our online application for easy reporting of your water use permit by source. You can go to programs.iowadnr.gov/water use, where you can renew your permit, enter your annual report form, pay fees, everything online. For any questions on that application, please call 515-725-0341. If you have an aquifer source with wells, you will need to complete the well table at the center of the page. This page can be skipped over if you have a surface water supply, like a reservoir or a stream or a quarry. The well water level information in this annual report form has gone through some substantial changes over the past few years. In this table, there are 5 rows for each well information. Each well noted should be for the source given. For example, in this source, we have Silurian and Upper Ordovician. If this was a different aquifer, we would have a different page with different wells required for water levels on that page. This works for the large majority of systems. If you happen to have more than 5 wells for your system, please add additional pages or divide out the rows on each page to add more wells. Another important note is that all water level information given on this page should be in the datum of feet below ground surface, not feet above airline or inches above airline or any other datum. This keeps all of our water levels consistent and comparable, both through time and with one another spatially. Each well, local well name on the first column should be what you call the well only. So if you have a well name north and well name south, please indicate so on that. In this example, we have a well number 2, a well number 4, and then a well number 2A. We have 2 different options for recording your water level measurements. You can either record from a single instance date measured, in this case on December 20th, 2016 for well 2, and November 25th, 2016 for well 4. If you choose, you may also use an average of your monthly values if you'd fill out a monthly operating report form. After your local well name, there's a static water level sheet. A static water level is a water level measured when the well is not pumping, and ideally when no other wells around that well are pumping. After you turn the pump on for a few hours, then we have the pumped water level meeting. This should be higher in value than the static water level reading because it is further below the ground surface. After the pumped water level reading, we have the hours pumped, the time difference between when you took the static water level measurement, turned on the pump, and when you took the pumped water level measurement. If this is a single instance, it would be how much you pumped it during that one day. If it's an average value, it would be the average you typically pump. And then the final field on the pump side is the pumping rate in gallons per minute, typically 300 to 1,000, whatever your pumping value is for that day, or the pumping value is on the average for the year. And then finally, the date measured or the average. If you have a well that is not active, please indicate so on the well table. After the well water level table on the first page, we detail how to correctly fill in the water use portion of the form on the second page. Verify the report you are completing is for the correct year. For example, in the upper right-hand column, we see the year 2016 in this report. If you are reporting historical usage, verify that on the page with the appropriate source and the appropriate year. Record your monthly usage for each month you pumped water. Do not record your meter reading, which is an accumulation or total amount used from that source. Write down all trailing zeros. We cannot guess if your meter must be multiplied by 1,000 or some other factor. We give you the option to report in acre feet or by gallons or by million gallons. If you withdraw no water at all, just place a 0 in the totals column for each month. Write clearly and distinctly on the second page, otherwise we may need to discard your report and ask for it again. Please total your numbers and check your math before sending your report.